What's going on, guys? It's Dr. Apolly, and today we're going to be talking about how good ZeRo would be if he played Smash Ultimate. Now obviously there's no way anyone can know with 100% certainty, but I still think that this is a fun question to think about. I'm going to tackle this question from two different angles. On one side we have reasons to believe that ZeRo is the best, and on the other side there's the idea that he would still be a top player but nowhere near as dominant as he was in Smash 4, arguably not even the best player. As for reasons ZeRo wouldn't be dominant, first we need to look at how good ZeRo was in Smash 4. ZeRo was the best player in Smash 4 for his entire run, but towards the end there were many people who were starting to catch up to him, many people who began to make him bleed. This is important to note because Ultimate is very similar to Smash 4. A lot of the top players in Smash 4 transitioned to be top players in Ultimate as well. Now obviously we have a lot of top players who weren't as good in Smash 4 but rose up, like Samsora, and a lot of top players who were really good in Smash 4 that fell off, like Fatality and Elegant. But it generally holds true. MKLeo, Tweak, Nairo, Dabuz, these were all top players in Smash 4. With that being said, it's unreasonable to assume that ZeRo would go on another 50-win tournament streak. I don't think anyone's denying that, at least, not even ZeRo would say that. Now there was a tournament that we can use for our mini sample size. The only tournament ZeRo competed in was the first Smash Summit. He didn't do too bad in this tournament. I mean, his placing was really bad, but he did take MKLeo to game 5 and took a set off Plup. But he clearly wasn't the immovable rock and unstoppable force that we knew him by in Smash 4. Obviously he wasn't as diligent in his practice because he was making a lot of money from Twitch, but these are still some really solid convincing reasons to believe that ZeRo wouldn't be nearly as dominant or even the best player in Smash Ultimate if you were to play that. Now, why would ZeRo be the best? What are the reasons ZeRo would be the best player in Smash Ultimate? For starters, you have to understand why ZeRo was so good in the initial days of Smash 4. Obviously he was really good at Brawl, probably the best player towards the end, but Smash 4 was actually the first Smash game where ZeRo started at the same time as everyone else. For Melee and Brawl he started extremely late. He was also playing in Chile where the competition wasn't nearly as strong as it is in the US, so he was kind of capped out from the get-go. So for the beginning of Smash 4, ZeRo was finally in the US where all the competition was and started the game at the same time as everyone else. This was also what contributed to him being such a strong Project M player. There was no official ranking for Project M at the time, but there was a pretty wide consensus that ZeRo was the #1 Project M player. ZeRo was also really quick to pick up on things. Like, this doesn't mean much, but he did win that invitational tournament. The final piece of evidence is that ZeRo is just extremely talented. He is the real deal. He's got that 1 in a million type talent. Well, probably not 1 in a million because, you know, how many people actually play competitive Smash, but he's like 1 in 100,000, 1 in 50,000 talent. I think he's probably the most talented Smash player to ever exist. Like, I would say he's slightly above Armada and Mango and probably like kind of comfortably above MKLeo in my opinion. Like, if ZeRo's talent is 100, I think Armada's and Mango's would be like 98, 97, and MKLeo's would be like 96, 95. It's nothing major. Armada, aka the greatest Melee player of all time, went as far as to say that he could see ZeRo improving drastically in Melee on a week-to-week basis, and that he was, quote, the most clutch player ever. Get your hungry box out of here. ZeRo is the most clutch player. And I can believe this too. ZeRo had some tight sets in Smash 4. Do you remember ZeRo vs Sue? ZeRo vs Nairo at the Big House? Man, he had so many close sets. Armada strongly believed that ZeRo could crack the top 6 in Melee if he practiced enough for about 2 or so years. In 2015, in fact, he took sets off SFAT, Fiction, Hugs, and AMSA, and even a game off Armada. He was ranked 35th in the world after only a few months of actually playing seriously. It's important to mention, however, that these players aren't nearly as good as they are now. I mean, AMSA was ranked 77th at the time. SFAT was still ranked really high, he was number 10, but Fiction was ranked 35th and Hugs was ranked 47th.
I got to see this entire progress from ZeRo over the course of these 2 months, and literally week by week, I saw a crazy improvement rate. And there's very few players I've ever seen having something similar. I remember at EVO that year, 2014, he traded sets with Fiction. He beat SFAT. He beat Amsa at MLG. Amsa, the Yoshi player. He took one game with me at MLG in a crazy clutch comeback, which is something that defines ZeRo as a player. I don't understand how he is so clutch. I believe he's the most clutch smasher, actually. It's crazy how he always seems to win. If someone asked me, do I think ZeRo could make it into the top 6 in Melee if he practiced enough? I clearly believe so. The guy's hella smart. When he gets dedicated for something, he works very hard for it, and he puts in results. He's not slacking by any means. So if ZeRo in a few months could climb up to like top 30, 35 level, how can you say for sure he would not be able to climb into like the top 10 or top 6 if he dedicated himself for another like 2-3 years? And I do agree that top 30 back in the days was not nearly as good as top 30 nowadays, but still, it's really, really, really crazy how fast he improved. And I've been playing this game for more than 12 years now. I've been around in a competitive community, and I can only think of a handful of cases, if even that improved as fast or close to as fast.
So again, this is just a hypothetical question. There's absolutely no way we could know for sure unless he were to actually do it. So your opinion is as good as mine. I simply gather the evidence for you to make your own assessment. So what do I think? I know that's why you're here. Personally, I err more on the side that ZeRo would just be a top player. I'm honestly not even sure if he would be the best either, because he couldn't find a main when he was actually playing. And honestly, just looking at the characters in Ultimate, I don't think any of them really fit ZeRo's mold. Like, Sheik and Diddy Kong I felt just fit ZeRo's playstyle so well, and I don't really feel like there's a character like that in Ultimate at the moment. I think he would definitely still be a top player, you know, fighting for that #1 spot with Tweak and MKLeo. But yeah, I don't think he'd have a noticeable leg up on the competition. You also have to remember that ZeRo took a break from Smash 4, like he didn't play the last season, so that puts him even further behind all the top Ultimate players. So yeah, I think he'd be like a top 5 player, definitely, probably not the best, and definitely not as dominant as he was in Smash 4. But who knows, man, with his talent, his hard work, and his tenacity, I don't think it's far off to say that he'd still be the #1 player, an undisputed #1 player. Like, if you believe that, I don't think that's unreasonable to assume. But again, I personally err on the side of him being like a top 5 player. And that'll be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think down in the description. Did I miss anything? Do you disagree? Let me know by hitting me up in the comments, joining my Discord, and following me on Twitter. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.